Roger.
I want to do another one as well with Creeper Impact guy. You know, maybe I'll explain to you in a minute.
That general's fighters. Recently, one of their child soldier platoons staged an insurrection and split from the main group. Thing is, they took a hostage with them. The general's brother, his number 2. The contract is to extract both that prisoner and the leader of the renegade platoon. The message reads, I love my brother. The objective is to rescue and extract the Mujahid captured by the Soviets. He's being held in the ruins of the Makhati Palace. As alone.
I do know there's a lot of kids in here. Well, I want to know when there's a new Walking Dead Part 3's coming out. It should be out now, but it's not, is it? I bet it's not coming out either. I'm going to try to sneak around and spot him myself, but I do know there's another person I need.
Your mission objectives are to extract the child soldier's commander and their captive, the general's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbeli militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village. Start by checking that location on your map. Boss, the child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt.
They will. I'll put the car and I'll put myself.
rebel militants. That's right. That general's fighters. Recently, one of their child soldier platoons staged an insurrection and split from the main group. Thing is, they took a hostage with them. The general's brother. His number 2. The contract is to extract both that prisoner and the leader of the renegade platoon. The message reads, I love my brother. You must bring him back to me alive. It also says this about the leader of the child soldiers. He is an excellent soldier. I want to persuade him to rejoin the ranks of the righteous. Sounds a little too forgiving for the man who ordered those kids dead at the mine. I wonder what kind of persuasion the general has in store. With that in mind, here are your objectives. First, rescue and return the general's number 2 as requested. Second, extract the renegade leader, and we'll keep him at Mother Base. In other words, extract both targets out of the region. Good luck, boss. Boss, this contract comes from the Mbeli rebel militants.
That's the commander of the child soldier splinter group. He may be a kid, but he got his platoon to revolt, abducted a militant faction's XO, and made off with a cache of weapons and ammo. Those kids are brainwashed with gunpowder from an early age, taught to kill, kill, kill. Real elites. One of your objectives is to capture the commander and bring him to Mother Base.
Says this about the leader of the child soldiers. He is an excellent soldier. I want to persuade him to rejoin the ranks of the righteous. Sounds a little too forgiving for the man who ordered those kids dead at the mine. I wonder what kind of persuasion the general has in store. With that in mind, here are your objectives. First, rescue and return the general's number 2 as requested. Second, extract the renegade leader, and we'll keep him at Mother Base. In other words, extract both targets out of the region. Good luck, boss.
Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your iDroid. Extract him.
The map is being updated.
Begin cover fire. Fire!
That's the target prisoner. Okay, that's the general's brother, his number 2. Get him out of there, boss. Now you just need to extract the general's number 2.
Fire! Fire!
The prisoner's starved and fatigued. He won't survive the Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper. Choose an LZ and we'll send the chopper there. Boss, extract the General's number 2. Select a landing zone on your iDroid and carry him there. Roger.
Please select a platform. Please select a platform.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
That's it. You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Departing.
Yes. So I did. I was very.
That's the way.
That's the way. What do you mean?
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
Hey, come on. I'll do it again. Oh, can I have a bit of help? Yeah, but still. Right, good.
Boss,
I want
about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the General's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care.
Oh, what's this then?
Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper.
See how different it is, huh? Okay.
Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher.
So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa.
Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. The problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid. I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management. First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you.
4 days. That's taking 5 days to do
Boss,
that.
a new job's come in. It's a hit. I'm the human trafficker who sent Shabani and the others to Nzoya Badia Bulu, where you ran into Skullface. The thing is, this guy might know something about the disease that's going around Mother Base. The symptoms are similar to the ones we saw at that factory. Start by checking the mission details on your iDroid.
Okay, we've got him.
Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. The infection rate, along with the number of dead, are both on the rise. If we don't find the cause, and soon. Remember before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller, that is a baseless accusation.
The source of the infection is Quiet. Everyone suspects her.
We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil field facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
But it's not
Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
I need to go.
Do something. Please specify object.
Alright.
Please select a mission.
Boss, there's a target on the run somewhere on the savannah. Your job is to find and eliminate him. He's a logistics officer for the PF known as Rogue Coyote. On the side, however, he colluded with the Buta regime, abducting people from Mbeli villages and supplying them as slave labor. That's right. He's a human trafficker. His victims ended up all over the place. Brothels, black market, organ trade, diamond mines. And he was the one who sent Shabani and the other kids to the Devil's House. But then an Mbeli rebel group finally added him to their hit list. The target decided...
I'm gonna do this on my own term. Let's see. I'm gonna grab something I can eat. Let's go right one. Good on me. Want it to be up.
Boss, the target is a PF logistics officer who works as a human trafficker on the side. The client wants him dead. He's currently on the run somewhere on the savannah with bodyguards. Unfortunately, we don't know what route they're taking. All we have to go on is a coded transmission sent by the PF at the Tati abandoned village. It appears to be a workup of the target's security plans, but to decipher it, we'll need an intel file with the encryption key. This key should be at the comms facility at the Tati abandoned village. Check your iDroid to see what the target looks like, as well as the location of the village. Find a route. Find a man.
Be careful down there, boss.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. There's an obstruction at the LZ preventing me from landing. Request immediate removal.
wrong area. I think I know which
Get on
area.
that chopper, you'll be aborting the mission.
Yes, I
Are
do
you
know.
sure?
No, not.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Back on. Right, if I remember rightly, it's on the other side we need to get to.
Please. Please select mission. Mission accepted.
Gotcha. There you go. I'm going to try to get an S for this one, but I want to keep him alive. Not there, you know what I mean? It's funny how kids are back to school these days now already. Normally it was about 6. It was 6.
Boss, the target is a PF logistics officer who works as a human trafficker on the side. The client wants him dead. He's currently on the run somewhere on the savannah with bodyguards. Unfortunately, we don't know what route they're taking. All we have to go on is a coded transmission sent by the PF at the Ditati abandoned village. It appears to be a workup of the target's security plans, but to decipher it, we'll need an intel file with the encryption key. This key should be at the comms facility at the Ditati abandoned village. Check your iDroid to see what the target looks like, as well as the location of the village. Find the route. Find the man.
Be careful down there, boss.
Please select the deployment. Marker placed.
Alright.
Was a civilian abducted by the target. He says the trafficker is trying to make contact with a human rights NGO. He hopes that by handing over his list of buyers, they'll guarantee his safety. Fire! I don't get it. Why an NGO? Why run to someone else for help? He made it to the Ditadi abandoned village. That's where the NGO's coded transmission came from. There's got to be a transmitter there somewhere. It could have the intel file containing the encryption key. Look for an antenna. Boss, that prisoner we rescued provided some intel. According to this information, the target is heading towards the Ziva camp. We don't want him linking up with more enemy forces. You better hurry.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
You gotta extract him.
Fire!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Fire!
He's coming too. Roger that.
Fire!
Extract him.
Fire at will.
He's coming too. Roger that. Subject on board.
Boss, leave the intel files till later. The enemy's on combat alert.
Okay, subject is in. contact him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. The savannah. Find him and eliminate him. Picked up an intel file. According to this information, the target is headed for Gazeba Camp. We also have his movement route. I've updated your map. Use the target's route to locate him. Eliminating him will be much harder if he makes it to the Gazeba camp. Take him down on the savannah.
Please select a deployment point.
Fire!
That's the target. Eliminate him, however you see fit.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Coming too. Roger that. That's him. That's the trafficker. Take him out.
Fire!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. You gotta extract him.
Fire.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated.
Roger that.
They're working for one of the bigger PFs, the Contract Forces of Africa, CFA for short. These guys are all business. Mercenary work is strictly about the money to them. Either way, they're no threat to us.
Roger.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Right, stop. Overshoot.
Fire.
I've got my PS3 because no one's really watching, are they? No, they're not. So I might play a game on my PS3 in a minute. Fuck up. Yeah. I prefer to play the PlayStation 3, yeah. I fucking do what I would. I'm just trying my best to do my gaming and I'm just getting no one to watch me. Look. No one is watching me. That's what I mean. It's like no one. Really, it's not bothering. So I might go on there.
Gaining altitude.